What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Saturn, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course. Just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So, Cancer, the moon is still in Capricorn. And with the moon being in Capricorn, this is a great energy, Cancer. If you've got any business that you need to get taken care of, any kind of like work stuff, like, you know, I mean, this could be, if there's a lot of like, I don't know, if you want to get ahead at work, for example, you know, if you want to get kind of caught up on some things, or if you have any sort of like cleaning up that you want to do around the house, maybe if you want to be getting kind of organized there. Capricorn energy is just, it's very productive, very structured type of energy. So it's just, if we have any things that we want to get kind of done on that aspect, work with this energy. But also, you may notice that like our emotions, not necessarily are, they kind of take like a back seat for Capricorn, you know, especially if they're hindering like getting any sort of things done. It's an interesting placement for the moon, considering it's just, you know, Capricorn being the opposite sign of us. The moon is technically in detriment in Capricorn. So it's just, you know, it's in a weird place because, you know, the moon likes to, her mantra is I feel, you know, but now Capricorn is like, the energy is like, you know, like we got to get down to work. I achieve. So, you know, this is just a great energy for that, Cancer, you know, just if, or just something to be mindful of with this energy, okay? And then the moon is moving into a last quarter phase, or they call it third quarter phase, which I'm with that. But with the last quarter phase, Cancer, this is a great time, speaking of cleansing, this is a great like cleansing phase. You know, if we have any sort of like letting go of any sort of like old anythings, you know, habits, whatever that's looking like, you know, this is a great time for reflection, taking any sort of responsibilities, you know, for any sort of like, you know, for just what we've achieved up until this cycle. And also, you know, for cleaning any sort of like emotional or physical clutter, you know, just great energy to work with at this time, Cancer. You know, really nice time for just reflection and to get out some old stuff, to welcome in, you know, some stuff for some change, you know, considering we're coming up on that solar eclipse here soon. Oh, yeah. All right, Cancer. And then last couple things. These readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situation. And the decks that I'm working with, I'll include them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But this is interesting, Cancer. You know, when I was doing the pre-shuffle, this card kind of had popped out here. So that's fascinating. You got the 8th card of Aquarius, which is the fish hook. And with the fish hook, this is a card of powerless, feeling helpless, paralyzed, vulnerable, trap, temptation, bait, con game, great catch, luck, prosperity, resourcefulness, abundance, and multiplication principle. And this is an interesting card, Cancer, because this is like, if we're in a place where, if we feel like that we're like paralyzed or feeling helpless, or, you know, if we feel like that something's really kind of got us like caught up or something along those lines. Look at me going fishing. But I don't know who fishes like that. But if we feel like that we're like got caught up in something, you know, this could be in addiction possibly. This could be maybe, you know, maybe we're feeling powerless in like a relationship, be it a romantic one. Maybe this is a something like maybe work related. But if we're in a whatever that condition, if we're in that kind of place, Cancer, this would really be a great time, to, well, one, just thinking with how I was talking about how like emotions kind of take a back seat here. Try not to ignore your emotions through this, Cancer. If that's something that's been resonating with you, take this energy and use it to try to weed out some of this stuff here. But that's just, if we've been feeling on that end, or if we've been feeling vulnerable or trapped or something along those lines. This is an interesting energy, Cancer, but we're going to work down the list here, because another thing, with just thinking with this bait con game thing that's going down, considering where the energy's going, Mercury's going to be going retrograde here on the 21st of this month, depending on when you're watching this, of April. And with the retrograding in Taurus, money matters and conversations along those lines and how people are thinking about money gets a little weird. Mercury is it's a planet of thought and action, or not action, planet of thought and communication, but it can be a tricky energy sometimes. So just with where things are going, I'd say just kind of be mindful of that. Any sort of like cons, any sort of like get rich quick schemes or anything along those lines, especially, with all the stuff, I've been with all the uncertainty with where finances are kind of right now. Just something to be mindful of. We don't want to get to this place where we are feeling helpless or get kind of caught up in something weird, Cancer. But last little bit, let's get to this last. I kept you waiting long enough. Let's talk about the abundance, because with this, with that luck, prosperity, resourcefulness, this is a great time to get resourceful, Cancer. And whether this, is maybe working with some other people, maybe getting some advice for something, but just thinking with this multiplication principle and whatnot, Jupiter's going to be moving into, I know you're getting a whole lesson here, Cancer. Jupiter's going to be moving into Taurus, on the 16th of May. So we got another month for that, but that's going to be a really great time for thinking about getting our finances straight. Jupiter being a planet of abundance and higher learning, this is going to be a time to really think about putting that Capricorn energy to work, be thinking about what ways we can start thinking about some long-term growth, something that's going to continuously keep us going over time, a few streams of income, for example, or just maybe we start dabbling with some maybe real estate or something along those lines, start getting some investing in some land, something along those lines, Cancer. So this is a lot to work with here, and we're going to get some tarot on this, see how we can work with this energy. So, but just some things to think about, Cancer, in the next few months to come. It's going to be kind of a I thought we were going to get kind of a little bit of a break after this planetary shifts, but things are still kind of going a little bit strong. So just kind of hang in there, Cancer. Things are going to settle up here, but let's see how we can work with this energy. Okay, Cancer, let's see what we have here. Oh, interesting. Okay, wow. All right, so we got the Two of Stars in reverse here, and we got the Star card in reverse. And Aquarius's card. But so with this Two of Stars, Cancer, I feel like with this, if we are in a place where if we're feeling that a situation or maybe a person or whatever may have any kind of power over us, that's feeling that's really kind of messing with our flow, or just, feeling that we're vulnerable or whatever that is. I feel like that it's time, to try to find a way to get back in harmony, however this is looking like, and just be mindful too, Cancer, that if we did get into something, let's say some kind of whatever, however the situation may be translating, Cancer, I feel like, this is something that be kind to yourself, because the Star card can be a card of healing, but with it being in reverse, this kind of gives to me like we can get into a place of like, maybe we feel like, how do we get in this situation? And, just starts becoming like a blaming ourselves type of thing. How could we possibly have not seen this coming or whatever? And, Cancer, sometimes, just on the journey, some weirdness happens. Sometimes how these lessons come up, they're meant to help us grow. Whatever this is not meant to help you, or meant to keep you down. And also, if this is something that if you've noticed these feelings, like this, it's one thing. I feel like, with the Star card as well, this is a card of, for me, being connected to higher self, or future self, God, Buddha, Jesus, however we connect to the source. But if there have been signals like, hey, Cancer, this situation, this isn't working for you. If you've been feeling any kind of dissonance with this, if we're not in a situation but we feel something weird is going down here, trust that, Cancer. That's your instincts trying to at least give you a moment of pause, and just to really think about maybe doing a little more research into this, or if this is like a relationship, maybe taking things kind of slow at first. But I do feel like that if we've been getting signals, to pay attention to that, Cancer, because if we keep ignoring those signals, then we're going to keep staying trapped in this situation here, whatever this is that is looking like, and it's going to affect your getting to that prosperity, that abundance, that luck. And now maybe for some others, if we've been feeling like, again, it's kind of like a similar thing. If we haven't been feeling like there's been a lot of abundance coming our way, or we don't feel like there's any kind of prosperity, or that luck has been going bad, Cancer, this is going to be a really important time. I mean, just really going forward, but especially, let's just say for like the next, probably like 5 to 6 months, really being mindful of what we're telling ourselves, because this fish hook here, this could be something that we've hooked ourselves, Cancer. And what I mean by that, if we get in a place of where we're like, oh, how come I don't have my abundance? Everybody else has this abundance, but I don't have. If we keep saying that, like that, I don't have, then that's going to keep perpetuating, Cancer, because the universe takes you at your word. I know it can be kind of crappy, but higher self really is just like, okay, well, that's what you want to manifest. And how we counter that, Cancer, is where I kind of like one thing I like talking about is, I'm big on the affirmations. And like a big one thing, like when you have like maybe like a low vibratory thought that comes through like that, you acknowledge it, because thoughts happen, Cancer. It's just one of those things. It's just like, we don't have to make it a big deal. It happens. We acknowledge it, and then we counteract it with the positive. How do we neutralize this thing? How do we achieve balance? This card here, love you syncing with the energy, Cancer. This is one of Capricorn's cards. This is Jupiter in Capricorn. And so I feel like in order to get that fortune, Cancer, we got to really get in that abundant mindset, and I know it may not feel like it's working at first, but if that's something that's been resonating with you, and you find that you haven't been getting ahead or been feeling resourceful, I mean, give it a try. What's it gonna hurt? Like anything to raise the vibration even a little bit. I'm all about, be aggressive about it. Put a Post-it note up in the bathroom or something, and like in front of the mirror, just any little thing, maybe. And one last little bit, Cancer. I know we kind of sort of talked about that, but just because with Aquarius, Aquarian energy is very much about like networking and things like that. So if we're in some sort of like partnership or anything along those lines, just be mindful of the people that we're networking with, making sure that, if your instinct is telling you there's some kind of shadiness or something there, or really that or if it even just warrants like a question mark or something, then like, pay attention to that. Give that's how we grow our intuition and strengthen that connection with our higher selves. It's listening to it, and then the more we listen to that voice, the stronger that connection gets, and then the more then look at that abundance coming in for you, Cancer. You won't be able to, fish will be biting in no time. See what else we got, Cancer. Interesting. Okay, so just seeing here, you got the Ten of Swords in reverse here. So maybe some of us, maybe some of us may be on the other end of this, possibly. Let me see what this other card is. So you got Ten of Swords Ten of Swords in reverse here. Interesting. Okay, and we got the Hierophant in reverse. All right, the Cancer, small little reversal storm. It's all right. It's hump day. It's okay. It's all right to have a little midweek reflection here. But with this Ten of Swords, Cancer, you know, maybe some of us, maybe we were getting out of a situation where, you know, maybe someone took advantage of us, maybe someone conned us, maybe felt vulnerable, whatever that's looking like, Cancer. I do feel that with the Ten of Swords popping up in reverse, that this is inviting you to heal, Cancer. You know, where it might have been tough at first. You know, like, yes, that's not diminishing the situation that's happened, but it's, you know, I feel like it's time for us to, you know, to really get grounded, to get connected with ourselves again, Cancer, because the Hierophant is a very spiritual card for me. You know, this is one of Taurus's cards, and you know, Cancer, just thinking, because you got Taurus and Aquarius here, just being mindful of what we're what our minds are being fixated on. Because, you know, sometimes, just even thinking with Taurus energy, you know, when they can get fixated on a situation or whatever, something may happen, you know, it's kind of hard to kind of get them off that path. So this could be a good time for you, Cancer, if this is something that has happened, or maybe that we're going through something, to maybe try to get in touch with nature, you know, maybe getting out and getting connected with the source again, getting connected with you and your emotions and your just maybe your spirituality or something. Because once we get back grounded again, everything kind of starts lining back up, Cancer, and then the healing can start again. But it's just something that I feel like that maybe, you know, depending on how this is, you know, maybe translating for you, there's been something where maybe we've just been like, maybe like a loss of faith or something along those lines. And, you know, Cancer, if this is something where, if we had like a situation, just thinking with like the abundance aspect of it, let's say if we started like a business and then things happened to, it didn't take off like you thought it would. You know, we could look at it as like a flop, in that, you know, we can start doubting our instincts, you know, and things like that. Or we can take that as an opportunity to figure out, okay, what happened? Like, okay, yeah, that sucked, you know, but what can I do to not repeat that again? Was it the thing that I was doing, or was it how I was approaching it? You know, this gives you a chance to brainstorm. We can do a few things, you know, you can, in Cancer, one more thing. Any more here? Just when we're going through this healing, if this is something that we are getting, you know, are trying to heal from, you know, just thinking with this, you know, being Taurus's card as well, be patient with yourself. You know, don't feel like you have to rush this. Go at the pace that makes sense for you. But definitely, you know, even if it's baby steps, Cancer, you just always want to take, you know, because we're the Chariot. We always want to make sure that we're taking our, just moving forward, no matter what the pace, and you'll get your pace back up in no time, Cancer. But let's see what are some challenges with working with this energy here. Cancer, let's see what we have here. Okay. Oh, my girl, what's going on? I guess that would be a challenge, huh? Okay. But you know what, though? Hold on, Cancer, because I'm with it. Hold on. So what's going down here? So you got the Ace of Moons and the Four of Wands in reverse here. But we have the Empress and the Three of Moons upright. So here's what's going down, Cancer. Some challenges. You know, just with this Ace of Moons, Four of Wands reversal here, this to me, if it just really, if we haven't been feeling like things have been going our way, and we haven't been feeling as prosperous or just as lucky or as abundant, just, or that just like it seems like you've just been like kind of like you're right there, but it's just like always seems to be out of your grasp or something like that. I feel like that it's just being aware of how long has that how long have you been in that cycle, you know, where that's been the narrative? Because sometimes it's like, when we take it from me, Cancer, when you get caught up in something like that, when we tell ourselves that there's, you know, that just like, you know, like kind of like there's no abundance out there for me. It seems to be, you know, like, I hope you get what I'm saying, because I don't want to try to get too much in that energy, Cancer. But when we take a moment, Cancer, and because this is beautiful here, Cancer. When we take a moment and realize how beautiful and how abundant we really are, even just like take a moment and just kind of look around and see what you have, and don't worry about like what more you want, because more will come, Cancer. But in order for more to come, we have to appreciate what we have, you know, because it's just like, well, oh well, if they, you get what I'm trying to get at, Cancer. But you know, the Empress, no matter where she goes, there's abundance. I mean, she's the type that if she's not feeling abundant, which, I mean, when does that happen? I'm kidding, Cancer. But if she's not feeling abundant, then she takes the time and practice gratitude. She takes this time and then nurtures herself and self-cares, you know. It's like what is going on in life that has got you feeling lack thereof. And that's where we need to focus the energy on. That's where the Empress is going to feed some love and some joy and some celebration and positive vibrations. That's how the Empress grows. That's how she manifests her abundance, Cancer. And that's how you can as well. We have a great relationship with Venus, and with Jupiter's not here, but and with Jupiter, and so you are those two are very abundant planets, Cancer. So that's just something to think about. But I really do feel like that, Cancer, if we're a little bit broader, if we're just in a situation as well that just really has us feeling less than an Empress, you know, really feeling less than like you're making more than you're worth, and that can be in finances, but also like, is what you're doing being aware of your health, you know, are you able to take some time off and rest, you know, all of these things. The Empress considers all of this stuff, you know, because abundance is more than just the pentacles for her. Like, yeah, of course she's all about her coin. She rules over, you know, she rules over Taurus, but she's also about staying in balance as well, because she rules over Libra. And when you start being in that energy, Cancer, you know, this and start doing things and really start like celebrating all of the little wins, you know, and all the smaller things that we may have in life. Really, Cancer, abundance just like opens up for you, and it's just something spectacular. And I know it's about, really, Cancer, you know, doing things that really last a little bit with this, you know, doing some things that just can fill up our cups right now and really make us feel good, you know. Do something to stimulate the senses, you know. Again, get out in nature, maybe go to a beach, maybe go to a park, maybe go in like the backyard or something, you know. Just get in touch with the earth, maybe something. But yeah, just to give yourself some healing and to realize that whatever this is going down right now, Cancer, you know how I feel about, you know, when we talk about cycles, that's all this is. And this cycle is going to come to an end, and there is going to be something to celebrate about. So, more? All right, Cancer, let's get some advice from Saturn. I love it. We got the moon. Let's see, in reverse, so that's dope. What else do we have? Okay, and then we got the Nine of Wands in reverse. So Cancer, you know, the interesting thing with this reading is that, and the moon being in reverse is dope. But the fact that all of these cards are in reversal here, but your Empress and one of our cards, you know, the Three of Moons, this is Mercury in Cancer. You know, if we haven't been feeling, you know, just like if we've been feeling less than abundant, or if we've, you know, been feeling powerless, however this may be translating, I feel like it's time to face that, Cancer. It's time to stop, like, you know, if this has been going on for however long, you know, and it's just something that we've noticed. I feel like the moon being in reverse, this is saying, you know, where we're seeing through illusions, you know, we're seeing through the veil. And you know, sometimes, you know, when we're facing this stuff and we're going through this healing, it can be tough, and it can really test our energy, and it can be really draining. You know, it really can get us feeling kind of vulnerable and all of that, Cancer. But I do feel like that when you think about the fact that you're taking these steps towards healing, just thinking with one of our cards, this is a time to nurture yourself, and like, because Mercury, saying that being Mercury in Cancer, Mercury is how we think and how we communicate. And so tell yourself again what an Empress you are, how abundant you are, just and just all the things that there are to celebrate. Just even if it's just a small thing, like I got out of bed today. I woke up today and I got out of bed today. Yes, Empress, that's how you do it. You know, and just like those little efforts over time, they become bigger wins, and then we're feeling our Ace of, because the Ace of Moons is the Ace of Cups. Now we're filling our cups back up. You know, now we're getting back in harmony. You know, because Cancer, it's. Oh, I hope that doesn't make sense, Cancer, more. Let's see what else we have. All right, Cancer, let's see the last little card here. Interesting. All right, we got the Wanderer here. Hold on, let's switch back over, Cancer. Because the Wanderer, this is one of the special major arcana cards in this card. There's 3 of them. But the Wanderer, this, I feel like, Cancer, you know, really, if we haven't been feeling like ourselves, you know, like our confident Empresses selves, you know, then I feel like it's time to be with yourself for a little while, kind of be in your energy, you know. Just, you know, wouldn't that be something? Just kick it. We could just kick it on the moon for a little while, just kind of just void a course with the moon. But really, Cancer, go void a course, you know, especially if this has been resonating with you. Get out in nature, get out, or even if you just got to do like a staycation, you know, just something to where you can just kind of be with your energies, and just to remind yourself that you, in Cancer, I will say this while I'm just thinking about that. When we're in our space, yes, you know, we want to be, you know, where we're protecting our energies, but if you've been kind of steeping in this energy for a while, it does do you some good to, you know, make it a point to get out every now and again, you know, just to get the energy moving, you know, so that, because, you know, water's got to constantly be in motion, Cancer. Otherwise, you know, stagnant water just become, you know, gets swampy, and things get weird, and it's all dirty and stuff. So just something to think about, Cancer, you know, when we're going through this, you know, energy. So I think I'll leave that there. This is a little tough, Cancer, for you know, for a Wednesday, but you know what, it happens from time to time, you know, with the energies changing. And honestly, I feel like with the eclipses coming up, like I feel like, and not just with the readings, but even just with conversations that I'm having with others, it's just like there's a shift that's coming, you know. And again, it's not to scare you. It's just that there are things that are, if there are anything that are lowering your vibrations, Cancer, this is the time to really start at least thinking about how we can raise it, you know, how we can get out of this, you know, funk if we're in one. But give it a thumbs up, you know, just to let other Cancerians know that's just like, hey, you know, figuring it out too, you know. But we got that, you know, we're staying positive. We're staying positive so we can keep a clear mind to figure this stuff out here, to get our abundance. And share this if, you know, maybe someone who's been going through this, if they've been feeling, you know, just kind of that less than. And because, I mean, they got you, Cancer, so that, I mean, that's one thing to feel, that's one thing to celebrate for and to feel abundant about. I mean, come on. that raised my vibration a little bit. So look at that, Cancer. And then, you know, subscribe if you haven't already. That was weird. Subscribe and then hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. And then, you know, speaking of positive affirmations, Cancer, I made a group on this meditation app, Insight Timer. And the group is called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's a place, if you, especially if you're going through something right now, I have like, there's just a cornucopia of positive affirmations in there. I've been posting daily. I don't even remember when I started it. It's been within the last maybe month or so. So you at least got like, what, 30 days worth? Look at that, 30 affirmations for your Cancer. What you going to do with yourself? And it's a place too, Cancer, you know, if you join, drop your nuggets of wisdom. You know, if you have any sort of like encouraging messages, anything along those lines. You know, I just feel like if we can see that we're all just kind of, we're all in this journey together. We're all just trying to figure this out and grow. I mean, it's fantastic. So yeah, check that out, Cancer. Again, that's on the app Insight Timer, and the group is called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration, and I got all that in the description box below, Cancer, because I've been productive working with this Capricorn energy, sort of. But as much as it makes sense, Cancer. And then lastly, check your sun, your moon, your rising. Now you can check your Saturn too, even, Cancer. And then go check out my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there. Every time the sun changes a different sign, do a monthly video. I even do like a birthday video, Cancer. I'm just covered all the cycles. And all that housekeeping for links and that stuff down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Magician. We were talking about Mercury a little bit, but he's in reverse, and that's all right. Because while I'm getting your oracle card, with the Magician in reverse, you know, the Magician, I don't know if you can see on this, Cancer. I love that all these cards have like tattoos on their hands and arms and things, but he's got the pentacles, the swords, the cups, and the wands tattooed on their wrist. So that's even more profound. I actually like that a lot more, because Cancer, abundance is inherent in you. You can manifest it. You have all the tools that you need. You know, sometimes I feel like we focus on all the things that we don't have. Witch bottle in reverse here. We focus on the things that we don't have, as opposed to all of the bottles that we do have, all of the abilities that we can work with. Because if we keep focusing on, Cancer, what we don't have, then we miss all of the amazing capabilities that you do. And I know it may sound kind of like maybe just like optimistic, or, you know, like maybe like a little over the top. But one thing, Cancer, I checked my chart and I got, you know, Leo for days. So there's nothing but optimism. But Cancer, you are abundant. Just the fact that you're a Cancerian. I mean, to be the mother of the zodiac, I mean, and to be as receptive as you are, I mean, come on. You can manifest greatness, Cancer, and don't you forget that. You know, never for a second doubt that. And if you do, just counter it with, when you get a negative, just counter it with the positive, Cancer, and then that's how you get back in balance. So, all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Cancer. So, you stay safe out there. All right, with all this, really stay safe out there, especially just thinking about the con games and things. I've been getting, like, I got a text message the other day talking about your healthcare bill is ready, Cynthia, and it's just like, yeah. So just, and I know you know, Cancer, you're quick, but just be mindful, you know, like, things are active, and like I was talking about Mercury retrograde, things might get a little weird. So just keep your wits about you. Keep eyes on that moon, because she's got your back, Cancer, and you know she feels you. She's there for you, and we're gonna get through this, Cancer. She's gonna remind you how abundant you are. Just feel it, Cancer, and I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.